Welcome back. Since 1903, the Wiawaka Holiday House on the banks of Lake George has offered enrichment and revitalization for women at a historic lakefront setting. As the Artist Retreat gears up for its 110th summer season, they need your help to raise money for programming and restoration efforts at their Wiawaka House. Here to tell us more is the organization's Executive Director, Christine Dixon. Welcome back to Look News.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening to you. It's great to have you here. Let's talk about the fundraising efforts in just a moment. I think it's probably nice to get people caught up on the house, give them a little bit of information about it. Beautiful spot on the banks of Lake George. Just paint a picture for us.
Sure. Let's not assume everybody's heard of Wiawaka, because some folks still have not. Wiawaka is a unique resource, retreat and development center for women, established over 100 years ago on the shores of Lake George, created by two women, Mary Fuller and Katrina Trask. The word Wiawaka in Native American language means the great spirit of women. So, oldest operating women's retreat in the country. We've been in operation since 1903.
It's a beautiful spot. We were talking before we came on air. In the off season, you host weddings and events when your programming isn't happening. I was lucky enough to go to a wedding there this past fall and stayed overnight in the dorms. And beautiful, just amazing.
Striking.
To be able to walk around in the old boathouse and just the grounds it's a stunning piece of property.
It is. We have 60 acres right on the lake, and 10 of the structures are historic. You stayed in a non-historic building and you still enjoyed it, so that's great. And yeah, right on the water. We have 1,500 feet of lake frontage. It's drop dead gorgeous. It's beautiful.
You could probably stay in a cardboard box on that piece of land, and the view is amazing, and the whole feeling of being there.
The history of the place, the generations that have been there before you, you can feel it.
Yeah. Now, of course, it all takes money. Everything takes money.
Sure.
You were on last year talking about the Wood Foundation. They have given you a matching grant program. Tell us a little bit about that and how the fundraising is going.
My purpose in being here tonight is to invite this community to help us meet this challenge. It's an extraordinary opportunity. We received a grant. Well, actually, this is the second fundraising phase for us for this lodge. Several years ago, we saved the building, and now we're began a year ago an effort to raise $300,000 to finish the building.
And this is the Wiawaka Lodge.
This is Wiawaka Lodge, thanks. And so the Wright Family Foundation of Schenectady kicked us off last summer with a $75,000 grant. We've had some nice local participation from individual donors and other companies. The Wood Foundation has recently granted us $25,000. If we raise by June 1st another $25,000, they'll invest another $50,000 for a sum total between the Wood Foundation and this community for $100,000.
So a 4-month span to raise that money. So it's really important. The time is ticking down. Yeah,
summer starts now for us, and we've got a few lead gifts, so I feel really good. We're off to a strong start, and we've got a few months, but looking for a strong turnout from the people here in this community to help us.
And I think every little bit helps. So sometimes you hear about these large donations, but if everybody watching tonight dug in for $5,
give what you can.
That would add up pretty quickly towards what you're doing.
Absolutely.
As you said, you're gearing up for the summer programs up at the Holiday House. Tell me what's on tap for this season.
Can I tell you first what this grant will do for us?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Wiawaka Lodge is a striking piece of architecture. It's historically significant. It was built by the Trasks, who founded Yaddo Gardens. You probably already know that, of Yaddo Gardens. And they sponsored artists. Georgia O'Keeffe was a resident artist at Wiawaka Lodge in 1908 for 3 weeks. The Trasks had an intention to create an art center on the lake, and that's what Wiawaka Lodge was supposed to be. So reopening and restoring it to its original character is really historically significant as well. And last summer we served over 1,200 women over the course of the summer, and bringing Wiawaka Lodge back increases our occupancy by 25%. It also creates 2 new spaces for healing retreats to take place. We have an abundance of beautiful outdoor spaces for events and programming, but we desperately need indoor space for intimate healing programs. We serve women veterans, survivors of cancer and domestic violence, and those partnerships and programs are growing, so to have this building to serve more women in need is also historically significant.
Yeah, you touched on the veterans. I was going to say, ask you about that. Last year was one of the first years that you were dealing with veterans. And
actually, I'm just going to add, this will be our 5th summer serving women veterans.
Okay. 5th.
5.
I think last year, though, there was a big push towards it.
We doubled the number of retreats, and this year we're expanding, and this is really due to my partnership with Creative Healing Connections, another non-for-profit. We're adding a 3rd retreat. We're serving spouses of National Guard servicemen. So we'll have 3 separate retreats for those involved with veterans, either women veterans themselves or spouses at Wiawaka.
Such an important cause.
Yeah.
Tell me what's on tap now for the summer.
Okay, so we're expanding our programming and our partnerships because of Wakanda Lodge, and so ironically, the Hyde is bringing a Georgia O'Keeffe exhibit to the Hyde this summer, and we are one of their partners. We'll be celebrating Georgia O'Keeffe and the restoration of Wakanda Lodge at Wiawaka with several events: a family day in July, an artist in residency program, and another art program at Wakanda Lodge. I'm also working with the Lake George Theater Lab. We're doing a 1-week workshop with some New York City female playwrights and actresses who will be doing a collaborative writing performance series that will be open to audience contribution as part of the creative process.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
And a lot of music. Oh, I forgot to tell you something.
Real quick.
Interrupt you. Yeah. We're adding an amphitheater to the grounds in front of Wakanda Lodge, so there'll be a lot of music, a lot of artists.
We need to have you on for a whole half hour. A whole half-hour special.
All right.
I think you could probably fill it.
You think so?
With ease.
Okay.
Christine Dixon, the executive director at the Wiawaka Holiday House. Thank you so much. Keep us posted on your fundraising efforts.
Okay, and go to wiawaka.org to donate and find out more. Thank you.
Definitely. And you can also go to our website, looktvonline.com. That's where you can see my conversation with Christine for a second time. You can also get connected to the Wiawaka website right there. We've posted a link for you so you can log on there, find out more about the Holiday House, and make a donation to their cause.